So the last thing I want to discuss with you in terms of timing is the double passage. And that is usually the most problematic for people because you have to read two passages and recall things from both in order to answer the questions. So in order to use your time most efficiently, you're going to do something that's similar to chunking for the one passage. So what you're going to start off with is always reading the italicized. So that's always number one, no matter what type of passage you're doing. Then what you're going to do is you're either going to read or chunk passage number one. So if you're a super fast reader and you just like to just get it over with and read it all at once, you can do that. If you're not, chunk it and just read each paragraph by itself. And then what you're going to do is answer the questions that are only pertaining to passage one. So there's going to be a few that just ask you passage one. Then once you've answered all of the solo passage one questions, you move on to reading or chunking passage two. Once you've read and chunked that, then you can answer any of the questions that are just pertaining to passage number two. And finally, you move on to any of the questions asking you about both passage. But when you get to the double passage, there are going to be a number of questions that ask you about both, but either comparing them and asking you about their similarities or asking you how they differ on certain issues. So you want to save those till last and answer them once you've read or chunked both of the passages and answered those questions. So now, you're going to try some of the drills with the critical reading questions. And what you're going to do on these drills might seem a little strange. What we've done, just like what we did on the sentence completions, is we've first given you a passage with questions with no answer choices. The reason why we've done this is because we want you to realize that the actual questions on the SAT are not that hard. If you were in an English class and you were given these passages to read, and then you were just about to have a classroom discussion on those passages, and some of these questions were presented to you by your teacher, you wouldn't have any difficulty answering them if someone just asked you the question open-ended with no answer choices. So I want you to realize that it's not the questions that are causing you difficulty on this section, it's the answer choices. The SAT writers are purposely including answer choices that are there to confuse you. They're really convoluted, you might not even know what they mean, and they're super random. So what I want you to do in this drill is go through these questions and just write in an answer that you could say in a classroom discussion. Then once you've done that, I want you to re-look at those questions with the answer choices. And now you're going to be really focused when you're looking at the answer choices. So when you're looking at those answer choices, you know exactly what it is that you're looking for because you already answered that question in your own words. So not only is it much faster when you're going through answer choices with a targeted strategy of what you're looking for, but it's also going to prevent you from falling into a trap of picking something that you don't even know what it means. So really try. I'm not doing this to frustrate you and make you write sentences out. When you answer these questions without the answer choices, don't feel the need to write really verbose answers. 2-word, 3-word answers is totally fine. I just want your brain to start functioning before it looks at the answer choices that are given to you. So try out the drill, read the passage. You can either use the chunking method, or if you're totally fine with time, you can read it all at once, but make sure that you're circling the triggers and underlining the sentences before and after it, and then test out your answer choices, and then once you've done a little thinking, try it out with the answer choices in there.